Earth build, Ascension Masters of the Council of Light. Who are they? Well, man alive, were they amazing. So I've always seen these Ascension Masters, those white beings, and it's interesting because that girl on Facebook paints them, and I actually said to her that I can't believe you've just painted some more pictures of them because I've been channeling them for the last 3 days. The Ascension Masters. So they came in especially for this time. They're finally telling us what their role is and what they're here to do. And Alvin spoke first, and he said to me, and they don't have faces. Like, most beings will have a face and you'll be able to relate to them as a being. They're more light energy and they glow. They really glow. And Alvin is, what his name means is noble. So he said to me, look at our names and go research them. He said, because these names we give you today are what represents New Earth. And I said, all right, so I'll go and have a look. And it was wise friend, noble friend. And I said to him, okay, is this about friendships, communities, families, partnerships, that kind of thing? So he's telling you the new communities we are forming are going to be wise communities. They will have the new committees, so no governments. We'll have beautiful friendships, soul connection friendships. You may not have family anymore, but you'll have these beautiful soul connections, families. And so that's what he's trying to tell us about how the new earth's going to look with these beautiful communities, friendships, connections, higher source connections. So it's not even heart, it's up here, up in here where you feel it in your consciousness. You feel it up in here. You've had that connection with that person before. So a lot of our starseeds are reuniting under this consciousness, and that's why we know each other. Or some of you are connected to others, your relatives. And so this is what's happening. We're connecting now with our starseed, like Johanna and I are cousins from the Palladian side. So you see, we're connecting now from these families that we had as starseeds. And we're here now reconnecting to be more powerful. Remember, as I said, as we are 1,000 times worth our light. So imagine when we get together how strong that light is. And so this is what they're trying to tell us. And New Earth, this is how it's going to be. These communities are going to be so strong and powerful and loving and supportive, and there's going to be no judgment, no jealousy. All those horrible 3D emotional feelings will be gone. And so Alvin was telling me all this. This is how it's going to look, and you can see it in his channelings. Then Kendra steps forward, and she's really lovely. She's really sweet. So she's all about the spirituality. She's also about the health. And she's about also, it's interesting, they're all wise. Their names mean they're wise. And so it's also about a knowing. So a knowing of your spirituality, knowing yourself, knowing your higher self, being wise, being knowledge. Oh yeah, 8 of us, abundance, absolutely. Good spotting, Christine. So what she came through was to tell me about, she's got the feminine energy of the Marys, the Magdalene and Mother Mary. So she's in here caring, nurturing, supplying the love, the protection, which is what New Earth is going to be. Gaia is going to love and protect us as much as it protects itself. And so also about the New Earth children, all that energy is under that Kendra spirit energy. Also the health industry going down, and our spirituality. So this is what she's telling us. This is what New Earth's going to look like with that energy. So we've got the divine feminine coming in. We've got the God's law. And so what it's been is Satan's law and the masculine energy. So you see the difference? And so what's happened is we did have God's law and we did have feminine energy. But what happened was it was allowed to be controlled and take over. And God had to let that happen to us. for us to research, to go looking through all these generations, all this DNA we've been doing, all the centuries, all the ages, to go within to re-find ourselves for this time. We had to learn how to do it. We couldn't just have it be given to us on a plate. So we had to go through all this stuff that we've gone through. Cabal, Matrix, Deep State, everything, to be who we are today. And so this is what Kendra's here to show us spiritually who we are and how we can work with ourselves. And that's what we're doing. I know, I love it too. I was like,
I feel a big connection to it, or like a familiarity. Can't even talk yet. Familiarity with it.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I felt like it was like a baby cub, you know, like just about to expand into a big lioness, you know, that sort of, it's coming. This is what New Earth is. Anyway, Deuteronomy, is that how you say it?
Deuteronomy.
Thank you. I never say it. And when he said it to me, I said, oh, yeah, I can say that. Yeah, right. Okay. And he laughed because he said, I know your normal language is in English, so I'm kind of having to convert stuff here. It's kind of hard. He said, okay, so go look at the Bible. So I thought, oh, I don't have a Bible. Gosh, how am I going to find this out? So I went and looked online. It's all about the God, obeying God, he obeying God, putting God's law forward. And he said, now, do you get the commands of God? And I said, are you talking about the commandments in the Bible? He said, no, just God's commands, what he expects of you. And I said, oh, okay, so this is different. He said, the commandments, some of them were made up. He said, to keep some of you enslaved. But he said, God's command is that you be truthful, you be honest, you be loving, you be respectful, and all that kind of thing. Respect your bodies, you know, and all this stuff. And I said, okay, so it's about laws as well. So going back into God's law, going back into not repeating mistakes. That's what he said. No more repeating mistakes, because as you've been learning through the ages and going through all these generations, repeat has been happening. He said it's like you see one generation do it, so the next generation does it. And so you keep repeating these mistakes. Well, he said that's stopping, because you've been clearing all that out. You've been clearing the DNA. You've been clearing out all the ancestral stuff that's gone back. This is why we've had to do all these activations and healings and cleaning and clearing. He said, so it doesn't happen again, that you are starting off on a pure slate of God's laws, living in pure light, living pure lives. He said, it's not going to be perfect. No, nothing is ever perfect. He said, let's face it, it's going to be a bit boring if it's 100% perfect. He said, but as long as your intention and your consciousness is with that, it's going to be a beautiful place to live. So, okay, I get it. Right. You get it? And then he said, right, so we're going to channel to you. And he said, we're going to give you we're going to give you some messages to work with for 1-1 and rebuild, and the hope that what you're doing is going to give you enlightenment for this coming year. He said it's a really busy time. He said your year is not 12 months. Again, we keep getting told about the calendars and how everything's wrong. He said that's not how we count a year. We count a year by the seasons. I said, oh, okay, so it's not by days, dates, and times. It's by the seasons, by the weather, by the sun, by the codes. I said, all right. Greeting, Ascension beings of New Earth. We are the masters of the highest council of light. We come in peace, love, and light. We honor the process of new earth and the transformation taking place. There will be a time of great joy, abundance, and godly living. We know and understand the process has been difficult for some. You have been judged, crucified, and made to feel disheard from your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. This, dear ones, is about to change. About time, that's all I can say. You will be the help. So we're going to be the help, guys. The ones that others will come to be assured and guided by the change falling upon earth at this time. It is no coincidence that you are here. You are the volunteers of strength, warrior-like beings, and are honored for your service. And he said, tell them, you have no idea how honored you people are. So you've all done good in their books. You know, we're doing good here, guys. Planet Earth needed you to be there for this time, and it is now time to rise, to be free, and to be Christ consciousness of love, light, vibration. And then Kendra comes forward. All new is now forming. Spirit of love, light, God, and energy is abound with codes for new earth. We, the Ascension Masters, are here to guide through the change and to walk beside you in the light to keep you protected, safe, on track to greatness. So it's going to be great. They keep telling me how great it's going to be, of greatness. I love that word, greatness. It is now time for the old way of living, freely with trust, abundance, communities. And these will be filled with light beings of high vibration and love-like frequency. The old way of living, learning, teaching, being present and knowing is the beginning of new earth. So going right back to the beginning of time, that's how new earth should have always been. As we watch new earth form, as old ways crumble, remember this needs to happen for now. Shaping creation, loving codes to enter for the new earth vibration. All beings of light here are now being upgraded for the final stages of ascension so that you are the new earth beings of light to be seen, heard, and lead. So we're in the final stages of ascension, guys. No more pain, no more body changes. This year, that's why my foot's swollen today, I reckon, because we're all going to the final stages this year. And look how much we've changed our diets, our habits. Look how much we appreciate. I've always appreciated nature, but even more so now. The elementals, walking on the beach, you know, the plant base, everything like that has changed in our consciousness. As changes take place, so does the older ways step forward to replace and gain as vibration and new earth. So the more we change, the more earth and new earth becomes itself. So we're putting that frequency out there. A time of great change and of new beginnings, of infinite opportunities and abundance like never before, as creations are now created in the highest form. Deuteronomy. Oh, and then he comes in. He's quite a bit of a character, this guy. The way he comes in, he's very authoritative. Comes in with this a certain mature authority, like godly, but he's actually quite humorous. And he comes in and he goes, Hi, dear ones. It's the way you said it. I was like, oh, I had to take a step back. How great it is to communicate and transmit such an important message to you all. Greetings to you. That's how it came through. New Earth is about the godly Christ consciousness that all will be living as God only recognizes and connects with. So this is so important. God is only going to connect with us and recognize us for our consciousness now, because we've cleared all this out. This is all gone. So he's connecting with us up here now. We're back to our higher consciousness. And that's going to be interesting to see how we grow, how we develop now as we get closer and closer, and we ascend higher and higher and higher. And the fact that he's always recognized us, but he's always been working to push us forward to change what's happening in us. He's always put us in positions, situations. We've always been led to other areas in our lives to work on. We've been working on ourselves since we got here. And now we're moving into this new consciousness. So it's really exciting that he doesn't have to worry about this part anymore. We've done the work. Now he can work on this bit, which is going to be amazing things happening. It is a communication with Source at all times for love, guidance, and direction. Or have a hotline to heaven, basically, a hotline to consciousness, Source line. So he's going to give us love, guidance, and direction at all time. We'll just tap into it. And this is what they tried to stop. And that's why they created this thing for the Tourette's. These starseeds can't do it because they've got a little remote control AI going off in them all the time. You see why the forces of darkness tried to stop this from happening. There it is. By using methods to stop your connection with God. We, the light, have always been here and waiting. So it's like they've been waiting for this time to step forward, to talk to us, to tell us, to help us. This had to happen to reconnect and to go inward to Source light as it was lost. So we came with it lost. It has been a plan for ages. Now, when they say ages, they're talking about right back through the ages. Time and activating stages with codes of light and frequency. So like I said to you, had they done it, everything we've been through in the last probably 10 years, if they'd done it in one hit, we would have all had massive heart attacks and not survived. They had to do it all in stages so that our earthly human bodies could accept it. And not only our bodies were having to accept it all, but our consciousness out here and our development and our dimensional selves. So it's really interesting how they said, we call this the ascension of mankind and humanity to move forward as God wanted. So it's really interesting. They're telling us this is the ascension of mankind and humanity. Humanity is huge. To move forward as God wanted. This we have had to do to save Earth from the hands of darkness. Now a new Earth can be created. This, dear ones, is the first time any planet has recreated itself. So you see, we are all here with you, excited and watching to keep you safe. As we know, time is happening a lot faster as we have changed the timelines of being so that you can be in service and carry out your mission to humanity and to this time of great awakening. So they've actually created the timelines to now become faster for us to get through it, because we've started on the work, and as soon as we start waking and starting on the work, they start changing the timelines on us. It was going to take longer, but there's so many of us now working dimensionally that we've all been changing timelines. Look how many ley lines and timelines we've been changing. My codes of Christ consciousness and of new order, yay, new plans are a way of living, and is now downloading to every one of you for this change to be implemented. So we will carry those new laws, those new orders, and the way that things will come. We'll sit on many committees here on New Earth. We'll be leaders. So to activate these new codes within you, this is the light language. Nu na wa la lo so. Si o we Godfather law so. Si ma nu o na. The new earth will live by God's way. You will live and show this by example. We are here to help you do this. New God's law will return to you all of love, fairness, and of pure source light. So imagine the fairness that's going to be there now. It's so good to know everything's going to be fair. Everyone's going to be on a level playing field. There'll be no rich, no poor. We'll all be on the same level. It has now activated for a new beginning, a rebuild, a new godly earth with the love, help, and assistance of you, dear ones. It's activated. It's done. It started. It's exciting. How many of you got excited when you read that bit? New God's law will return. All this fairness, pure source light, it has been now activated. He's telling you, green light, switch on, we're ready. And to keep that activation going, so sa pla wa lo la, say o so lo la, ma say o la we. Then Elvin steps forward. I tell you, it took me 3 days to bring this through. Greetings, beautiful beings of the great ascension of love, of light, of beings of God's children. He's a bit over the top. But he's beautiful, if you know what I mean. He had to say it all in one sentence. We are gifting you new codes of enabling a new form of living, giving, receiving, and true friendship and abundance. So he's bringing in again this new friendship thing. New form of living, new communities, new family orders. Hello, it's all going to change. New way of living, a way you know has been before but has been forgotten. So we lived in communities, we lived in villages, we lived in tribes. We're going back that way. When you look at all these beautiful native people of Earth still live in their tribes, they've got it right. The new Earth children are a gift to you. So all these new Earth children, this is why we've got to protect them. This is why I've got to do this activation and this AI protection thing, because they have been gifted to us, these new Earth children, in a way like never before. We've always been told our children are a gift from God, but these new Earth children have made a huge sacrifice to come back and be gifted to us. New Earth from God Himself. From God Himself, He selected them. They didn't volunteer. He selected them. God selected these beautiful beings to come at this time. So it's like He sent Jesus. He's now sending the new Earth children. It's pretty powerful stuff, guys. This is why I've got to do this work. It's really sitting on my heart. to create, to show, to rebuild. That's what they've come to do. To create, to show, to rebuild, which we knew, but we did not know that God had selected them himself. Now, to keep them here, to keep them in their dimensional security of God's selection, la wa a o you are mama si sola. So we repeat that when we are working with the new earth children. So you teachers, you people that are going to be going into preschools, like tomorrow, you're going to have to learn how to speak with them. And this is one of these activations that you can have to work with them now. And he said, if you start speaking this with them, like see them like they recognize us in the shops and everything, la wa a o you wa mama si so la, they'll know what it means. Now, we're getting told here, protect these little ones, give them what they need to thrive, to understand them, create loving homes, services, and guile for them to create and rebuild. So we've got a big job on us. So we came first, get this started, they're coming in, but we've got to support them like we've been supported and loved and protected, so that we've got to do the same for them. Memories of you come with them. How important is that? So they already know who we are when they arrive. They know you and you know them. So when you see them, you recognize them, you connect. It's all that conscious connection again. Some of them are your own children from previous lifetimes. Together, rebuild with codes and frequency of love, light, God connection. It's going to be pretty amazing connections. Communities will be created and abundance shared. Land will be activated and cared for from the guardians and rangers. And he even mentioned the rangers, Christine. I was like, what? And he said, and the guardians. Well, we've been talking about the caretakers of the land. They are our ancestors. So the guardians will take care of the land. They will do all the logistics of the hard physical work, but the rangers will be the protectors. And so the rangers will go out and they'll make sure that land is, yes, it's been taken care of, but we're also going to protect this now. We're going to learn and understand it more. Crops will flourish, be organic to feed, so no hunger exists. And so this is why we're getting all this vaporizing stuff done, and our skies are different, and our oceans are doing things, and our winds are doing things, because everything's got to be organic. And to keep that activated, so this is why this light language is for every different section. La wa o you wa mama si so la. Services will be created by our God Lord to be obeyed with love light that no corruption can infiltrate it. So our new services are going to be created by what God wanted. So our medical system will disappear. It'll be wellness and so forth. And so all these old systems are going, and the services that we now hold within us, our DNA, our blueprint, our information, our knowledge, our wisdom, our truth, is all going to be services. And nothing can corrupt it. Nothing can get in there anymore. Old systems that once was will now collapse and disappear. So this year we're going to see a lot disappear, a lot crumble, a lot of coming out, reveals, So things will go down. People won't want to trust it. People won't want to use it. The new services such as learning, so that's the education, plant-based, that's our food source, that's our main source of everything. So you think of everything that we do in life is based around that chain of food. Bartering, so that's our abundance. We will barter back and forth. We will give, we will take, we will share. Has been activated. Green light again. It's all going up. Going ahead, guys. Orion, step forward. Andromedans, step forward. Oh, lordy, lordy. No ruling governments or leaders will be part of New Earth. So that's got to happen still. A lot of it's still collapsing. Community and committees will be created to rule by God's law of the beginning of time. So we're going back to the days of when it was just a few of us here on Earth. So population will be less. We'll have supporting communities. We'll have committees managing everything. So there'll be no governments telling us what we can and can't do. And so our services will be controlled by a central committee, obviously, but our little communities will have little committees that will operate with those big committees. And everyone will have their say. Everyone will sit on them. People will be placed and have their, and it will be truth. And it won't be infiltrated. So to keep that active, na sa la mi mi mo ti a q walau di do tutu lo la wa God lo la wa wa so. So he loved us so much. Is that last line? No more medical poison. No more experimental operations. All healing and wellness will be created by plant-based crystals and sound frequency. How amazing is that? It's going to be incredible. And that's our animals too. Remember the vets. Get rid of them. What have they been doing to our animals? And, you know, even our stock. Some of the cows, the sheep, you know, they've all been treated so badly and poisoned and so forth. All is not as it seems. Go within to find the true answers, what is to come, to be created, to be new earth. So then they tell us, so they're now all talking, we give you the guidance, we give you sight, sound, and feeling. So they're helping us, they're standing beside us, they're with us always. We offer you a hand of love, support as you step forward, rebuild, create, be of God. Praise to all. No na wa mai mi lo. You got to say that twice. No na wa ma mi lo. So we are activating, going within ourselves and staying in that state and knowing, just knowing and being present, because that's what the new earth is about. How amazing is that? Pretty incredible stuff, really.